30. Well, it's the Saturday after Thanksgiving. I think that makes today the 25th of November. We have not had a very good experience hunting the rut this year. Just little bucks, basically just cruising, not a lot of chasing. Haven't really seen a whole lot of what we would consider rut activity until this morning, right at first light. Yesterday we got a trail cam picture of a really, really good buck on a property that we've spent a lot of time hunting and haven't turned up anything to this point. So we decided to come back in and hunt this. Got a weird east wind for this time of year, but it sets up great for this spot. That deer was with another, I don't know if it was a younger buck or a doe, but there was a doe in front of him that was definitely and he was on her tail and did not have a care in the world about us being up in this tree. When I first spotted him, I had just pulled my warm jacket on over my head and strapped my vinyl harness back on and looked up, and I could see his throat patch. And I thought, that's a deer. And he didn't care at all. Downwind, watched me get dressed in the tree at 60 yards. But his doe must not have been aware of us, and he followed her right in. I drew back. Well, initially I attempted to draw back, and I've never had this happen before either, but my arrow fell off of my nock. So my arrow is tumbling to the ground as he's standing at 30 yards looking up at us, and so is his doe. My nock is still on my string. The arrow's on the ground. I've got to get another arrow knocked, which means I have to pull the original nock off my string, knock the arrow, get set, and draw. And I had ranged that spot at 30, and I thought that's what I shot for, but I must have just been too ate up with buck fever and nerves, and I shot right over top of him. So here again is an example of us being the bug that runs smack into the windshield of a car. That car is called nature, and hunting where things can go wrong. It's just Murphy's Law. We just had a group of like 8 does and fawns walk through, and it's a cold morning, so I guess you never know what can happen, but that's one I really wish I could get back. And I really wish my first arrow hadn't fallen off my bow, because I think I would have been a little calmer if that had happened. But it's the way it goes. Things happen. You gotta move on, so we'll sit out for at least a couple hours and see what else moves through. There's a hot doe in the area, or he wouldn't have been there, so maybe other bucks will be cruising through, and I'm not gonna be picky and wait for him. I'm gonna shoot the next big deer that I see. So just have to see how the morning plays out.
We appreciate you guys checking out that video. That was a throwback from last season, actually before Jake killed his buck, just a few days before. But we thought you guys would find that pretty interesting. I know we thought it was interesting after it happened. In 15, 20 years of hunting, I've never seen a buck that rut crazed. I've heard hunters mention they run into bucks like that where they don't have a care in the world, but I've never seen one quite that stupid, for lack of a better term. I mean, he saw us plain as day in the tree. He couldn't have been more downwind. The doe he was with, though, had a place to be, and she was just off enough. I guess she didn't really see us or didn't smell us, and he did not care. He knew there was danger there, but he wanted to be with that doe, and she waltzed by, so he was going to follow her. Again, pretty incredible. If we could run into a deer like that every season, we probably wouldn't complain. But the neighbor actually ended up killing that deer. I think like a week later, we saw it on Facebook and said, "Hey, that's that buck that Jake had an encounter with there." And yeah, so just an interesting hunt. We again thank you guys for joining us here. If you would like and subscribe, we would greatly appreciate that. We'll continue releasing them here on Wednesday evenings at 6. And in the meantime, I know we're getting itchy. Some states are already open. If you're in a state that has opened, we hope you have found success. And if not yet, we wish you the best of luck. And for you guys in Ohio like us, man, it's coming. It's going to be here quick. So hang on. The ride's about to start, and we hope it's a fun and prosperous one for everybody.